Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? Oh, sorry, this is a little aggressive. Hey, what's up, YouTube fam? What's up, YouTube fam? What's up? We're talking about how to buy a car the right way today on this channel. Ain't nobody getting no hard inquiries. Ain't nobody getting run their credit 15 million times. What are you doing over there, Jera? That's my buddy, Jera.
You could see me.
Yeah.
I'm looking into the lens, so.
Yeah, I like to look up here sometimes too.
Yeah.
Let's see how I'm doing. Cause we ain't got no cameraman. I fired that cameraman. That cameraman is fired. He's gone. No more cameraman. Get a tight, cameraman. Get in here. Get a good tight. He's back there. He's back there. He's back there. All right, enough shucking and jiving. Here's the thing. Jera here is looking to purchase a vehicle, and because we know what has happened to people in the past, she didn't get her credit run a bunch. Okay, they didn't even have her name. Look, I'm just letting you know what she did first, and then I'm gonna pass it over to her. They didn't have her name. They didn't get a driver's license. They didn't even get a driver's license. They didn't know who she was. We did a lot of stuff first, and the first thing I'm gonna say for protecting your information, before you even, the reason it sparked, because I have this old van, guys. I'm not looking to buy a car, all right? I got an old van, I keep it minimal, I pay this van off, it's fine. So I just drive it around, okay? But it went into the shop, I needed a vehicle to get around, so we were going to rent an economical car, right? Just an economy car. What happened was they were out of all the economy cars, and they gave us this very nice Challenger, right? So, like Jera's face. And she started driving the Challenger around, I was driving around, I was like, this is really nice. And so she was like, yes! 300 horses barking at the wheels. All that room to gallop, no room to gallop in Los Angeles. So, but anyway. Took it on the freeway, she's driving around, she's really liking it. And it handles really well. This is not a Dodge sponsored ad, by the way, okay? This is how you buy, no, this is how you buy a vehicle properly. And one of the things that we think is a good trick is to rent the vehicle, right?
Yes, rent the vehicle and drive the crap out of it. Put it through the ringer, drive it how you're gonna drive it if you have it at home. Because when you go to the test drive at the thing, they just let you drive around in a little square. Sometimes maybe they'll let you go on the freeway, but usually they don't let you do anything. And even so, you can't really get away with doing what you want to do in the car with the person from the dealership in the car. So when you have a rental,
get that insurance. That's even what the gentleman told us, right? In the sales individual, the salesman, he said, rent the vehicle first. And I know you're saying, you're like, oh, but it's
this is why he said it though. Mm-hmm. You were skipping that part. The reason why he said it, he's like, I went to Hawaii with my wife and we rented this van that I was gonna buy. And after a week or two of driving it, it had this thing on the side that was just rubbing against my leg, and I just had this huge sore on my leg.
Yeah.
So you also gotta know if you fit in the vehicle.
Yeah, you fit in the vehicle, or if you like sitting in the vehicle for an extended period of time. Mm-hmm. We found that, yeah, I mean, she has something that she has scheduled, so she's probably gonna rent the vehicle for a day again and drive it long distance, and then see how she likes it driving it long distance. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, it's an added expense, you know. But really, when you look at it,
long term could save me thousands of dollars. Thousands
of dollars, paying all these inquiries. I mean, just think about this. Individuals have gone to a dealership and got their credit run 15, 20, 30 times, 40 times. I've seen 100 inquiries. 100? There was an individual who had 100 inquiries from various sources, but one of the main reasons was 40 of them came from car dealership, which is just insane. Car dealerships went to different ones, right? So of course you're not that extreme, you're not being crazy like that, but that's gonna cost that individual thousands in, you know, APR. They have to pay or figure out how to do, you know, disputes on their own.
Time just doing credit repair.
Time doing credit repair, and time is money. And I know it is for you guys. That's why a lot of you guys have had us do it for you at theawesomelifegroup.com, or you're doing it, saving yourself and being economical at 609creditrepair.com and get those inquiry removal letters in the Beyond Committed package. So far we've talked about renting the vehicle. One day, 50 bucks, 100 bucks. Some individuals are doing really well out there and they want to rent those BMWs and Mercedes and stuff like that. Yeah. So those, I mean, if you're extravagant, yeah, and there's people who want to just buy an economy car, and you can rent an economy car very cheaply, especially if you make a relationship with someone that's there at the rental. You could get something during the week, 30 bucks, you know.
Yeah, we made friends with the guy, and then he gives us the upgraded cars at the base rate.
Right, yeah, because we've been in there because I got problems with my van, man. Okay, my van's old. It's a 97, it's old, okay? So get a nice economy car, 30 bucks. See if you like it, see if you want to do it. Now, the next step I think too is don't give them any information. Don't volunteer.
We found the car that we wanted after a lot of rentals.
Yeah.
Found the car that we wanted. That was first.
Okay.
And by renting it, trying it, and then be like, I can see myself in this thing. Then we went to the dealership just to go see what pricing was like. Give up nothing. You get nothing out of me. No information.
Nothing. And the way that
They didn't ask for my ID.
they didn't ask for her driver's license. Didn't ask for driver's license.
Let me drive around. No ID.
No
I was
ID.
just like,
No name, no ID, no nothing. And this is what these dealerships will do. They do crazy stuff, and they'll do crazy stuff with your credit. So
what
don't
if I
finance
was
it.
in Fast Furious? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I was a real life thief?
Right.
And I was just like, got my guy here. He's gonna pull a gun on him, kick him out.
All right.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay.
No ID. Nobody knows.
That's not what we're doing. Okay. But not only are they trusting, that means for you that you don't have to give a lot of information to potentially get a test drive, okay? I called the dealership beforehand, and this was off hours too, lower. You wanna go during like weekdays, and I know what you're saying. You're like, I got work, Brandon. I know. Find a time where you can go in. This is a big purchase, guys. The vehicle is a big purchase. If you can't find
A year's salary.
yeah, they're expensive.
Year's salary. This is a
year of your life.
Or more.
of no eating. Yeah, if you just buy like a more economical car, no eating, no living, a year of your life.
So, just right around. So maybe a day, maybe a personal day. Get in there during the week. Okay, go downtimes. You don't want to go after, after work, weekends. Everybody's in there, so you want to be chill. I
You want
called.
to be able to ask a lot of questions.
I want to be able to ask questions, and you also want to
rushed.
Yeah, you don't want to feel rushed, right? So to begin that process, I called the dealership and I said, hey, my buddy is interested in taking a look at this Challenger. Do you have any in stock? What is the pricing right now? And all right, cool. Can we come in for a test drive? Yeah, we came in. So we came in. He knew that we had called. I didn't even give a name. Okay, I was just like, all right, swing by. And I came in, and then I was like, oh, I talked to you. Oh, hey, how are you? Good to meet you. And even if they ask my name, I just give them first name, or you can even give an alias if you wanted to, Give your middle name,
Don Juan, nice to meet you.
You would have gone with Don Juan? That's
Yes.
funny. That's great. I don't know if they would have believed.
Maybe Takeshi.
Takeshi, I like that. So they have no information, they can't even run anything, because I've heard horror stories of people giving their names and somehow they have their ID, they get a date of birth, and they can still look into them, look them up, run credit. I mean, I've heard of all kinds of crazy things these people will do to try and get you financing and get you a deal.
Assume the dealer is a thief. Don't give them nothing.
Don't give them nothing.
Till you know who they are, because basically they are a stranger.
They are a stranger, and you don't want to give a lot of information to them. So, went in there, we were passed along to another individual who was another salesperson. He was, very helpful, very trusting of us, and let you drive the vehicle. And once you were done driving
I
the
will
vehicle,
also say it was very sexist, because he only talked to Brennan about my car.
but yeah, it's true. And the other thing is, when you are in there, you didn't say much, right?
No, I'm cold as ice. I have him answer the questions, and I took notes on my phone of everything that's getting said. And then they'd be like, oh, do you have questions? And I'm like, I don't give nothing. I don't give nothing away. How excited I am that I want to buy that car immediately, because you could talk me into it right away. So I got beat.
That's right. Good. If you are, and some individuals like myself, I like to chit chat, a people person, things like this. If you feel like you could get kind of pressured into a high sales situation, take a buddy, take a friend, take a family member, somebody who's going to be that liaison or guard for you. That I'm asking questions, he's talking to me because I'm asking the questions and stuff like that. So it's helpful to her. She doesn't feel rushed and pressured. She's not having to think of things to ask and take notes and potentially do a deal. She has somebody to help her do all of that, and she's the one that gives the final approval. And at that point, we went in there just to get pricing. We didn't have any...
A wingman.
Right, a wingman, yeah, or a wing person if you have another individual. Don't have financing at that point. Don't have money burning a hole in your pocket. Don't even be able to purchase the vehicle at that time or be ready to commit. You want to walk, I think you want to walk out that day. You don't want to purchase something no matter what they say. You want to be okay.
Get their information, don't leave your information.
And they gave us a card, right?
Give us a card, we give them nothing.
That's right. Nothing, man. All right. So we've been in the dealership. We got our information. They got nothing from us. They don't have our phone numbers. They have nothing. They didn't follow up. Nothing. Okay. So we test drive the car, rented the car.
Got a lot of pricing. We're like, okay, so we got a ballpark of where we're gonna shoot at. Still, when I go in there to buy something, gonna hustle hard.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna offer nothing near what they asked.
Right. Low
Low.
Right.
I'm gonna be a dirtbag.
Next step was to the credit union.
Go to your credit union.
Credit union. She was super helpful, right?
Oh my God, she was so helpful. So we went to her, again, didn't give her no. I was like, do not run my stuff. Do not apply for the loan. Do not.
They get excited.
They get so excited. She was so ready because she was training somebody. She wanted to, like, she was gonna have the girl put the thing in and file out the loan. And I was like, nah, we just have a bunch of questions. Give her her name because the credit union does have your
soft pull
on your credit report. So they have about what your credit score is. And let me tell you, because we pulled my credit and there's different numbers all over this. And the number she gave us was actually quite high. And I was like, how is that so high? That seems strange. But if you have my FICO, there is a thing that says like auto loan. That is the score that apparently the credit union will pull for auto financing.
Yeah.
Which mine's really high, so it's good percentage. Good, and then also the credit union, you get a very good percentage.
APR, yeah.
Yeah.
APR was crazy. I think they were doing 1.96%, almost 2%, like less than 2% if you were above 800, and then if you're below that, it was like 2.4%. And it's great. It's great. Yeah, I mean that is great. I've seen people have crazy loans of like 10, 15, 20%, I mean, just crazy stuff, 15%. I mean, this is gonna save you a ton. And so if you don't have a local credit union, get one.
Yeah, if you don't have one, get one. Sometimes you have to put like $5 into it, or maybe it was like 25.
So usually, it was, for us, it was $5 at the time, long time ago.
Because we have a special one for actors.
Right, long time ago. And sometimes if you don't meet qualifications, you're allowed to make a charitable donation. So when we were in Hawaii, the Aloha Pacific Credit Union, if you made a charitable donation to one of their charities out here when we were in Hawaii, they would let you join. So maybe it was like $20 or something like that.
It's pretty cheap. It's inexpensive. It's definitely worth it because just if you ever need to finance something, you can get the cheapest loans from there.
Yeah.
And they have your back and they'll help you out way more than if you go somebody outside of that because they see your money, they have their money, they know they can get their money, like. Yeah,
big banks different. And a lot of military out there, Navy Federal Credit Union is good out there, okay? A lot of military, that's another great credit union you guys can utilize and look around. A lot of people qualify for credit unions. Okay, so, and a lot of things were like, I think even the credit union we were in, if you just lived in the area or something like that, I have to relook at the quote. It's been years, it's been like 8 years or something like that, but it was pretty easy to join. Now, something that she did tell us is the dealership will try and let you know that, well, we have relationships with credit unions.
Tell you they can get a better deal, and she's like, they can't beat us.
They can't beat us. She actually told us. She said they can't beat us. Don't apply with them. Get your stuff with us. Do the financing.
She's like, if you ever give them your social security, you're done. They're running your credit. Do not give them your social.
Do not give that social.
Again, think of them as a thief.
They're trying to get the best deal for themselves and their markup and make money on you. And you want to do the other way, just the same thing with your credit, where I teach people to get miles and use the credit the proper way, how to get good credit and get good interest rates. And this is part of the process. Purchasing a vehicle, I see all the time, people want to buy cars. If you want to buy a car, you want to do it the right way, okay?
Ask them tons of questions. They know so much because they're dealing with people buying cars all the time. So they know the stuff that the dealer pulls and everything. So you're gonna ask, what's the supposed? Because you can ask for the supposed thing without actually applying for the loan and get kind of what your stuff is. Like she worked out all the stuff for me. So if my credit score was 722 for 48 months, it'd be 2.94%. For 60 months, it'd be 3.2%. Your payments, if it was like a $20,000 loan, 48 months would be $442. 60 months would be $445. Actually, you get penalized for paying longer.
Yeah, because the interest rate was higher. Yeah.
But you don't save no money. It doesn't mean it's
yeah.
So
yeah.
like, they'll give you all that information. So just get it all because
Right. And
you
get
might
it-
think your credit score is something, but before you pull it for sure, you don't really know.
Right.
Just know what the possibility of the outcomes are, so that way when you're buying the car, you can be, say, more aggressive when trying to buy it, giving the pricing, negotiating, because you know what you're not going to be able to afford when you go back to the credit union.
Right, and the thing about the credit score is we looked at her credit score before she went to the credit union. We had a ballpark understanding of what her auto financing number was. So we kind of knew, and we invested in like a MyFICO, or we specifically, this is the thing too, our credit union told us they pull from Experian. That was another thing. They specifically told us they pull from Experian. Your credit union will let you know where they're going to look for your auto financing. So to be even more specific, we could sign her up for Experian, look at what's on there. If there's any derogatories, anything that we need to take care of, we can take care of it beforehand, knock it out, and get that score that we really need and want, okay? And then on top of that, for the credit union, they give you that pre-approval letter, right? So once you decide that, okay, I want to apply, and it's only one inquiry, they told us, I was like, how many times? One inquiry on Experian, that's it.
Make sure when you go there, do not drive the car off the lot.
Right.
Don't drive the car off the lot before you bring
your contracts.
Because if you do that, that means they're running your credit.
Right, so the only way, so this is the thing. So the only way you can drive a car off the lot is if you do financing, and I'm saying, but prior to getting your check from the credit. So this is how it works. So the credit union will give you a pre-approval letter. You can go to the car dealership. They'll give you a contract saying, okay, well,
it'll be a purchase order. You get
purchase order.
I wrote this down. Get a purchase order, and it has to be signed by the dealership. Then you bring that purchase order back to the bank.
Yep.
Your credit union.
Yep.
Your credit union will then issue a check. Then you bring that check to the dealership, and then you get your car.
Right, then you can drive it off the lot. If you go and run to the dealer and you don't have that check from the credit union, okay, you haven't done the purchase order, you don't have the check from the credit union to give them, and you want to drive it off, they're going to run your credit to do in-house financing so you can leave. Do not do that. It's not worth it.
Don't do it. Especially if you've done all this work.
Yeah.
You've gotten this far and you did all that preemptive, like,
all that battle strategy, all that making sure it's all good.
You can easily just mess it up right there. Another thing you can do at the credit union, our credit union offers gap insurance. So if you are going to buy a brand new car, you want gap insurance, because as soon as you drive it off the lot, you lose that depreciation value.
Yeah, immediately it depreciates. So
that offers, so if you get in an accident right away and you still owe money on the car and the value, the difference what the insurance will pay out, that'll
fill that gap. Right. So
and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's only for
$400
for the entire loan. It was like $400, and usually this is a percentage of what they finance. So it gets, and it's amortized. So it's like an extra $4 a month or $5 a month. It's not that bad. Gap insurance usually comes from the people that will finance your vehicle. So since the credit union is financing it, they're the ones that will give you gap insurance.
Yes, don't get it from the dealership, because the dealership will charge you like 4 times that.
Yeah, she was saying they mark it up. Yeah, or it was still affordable, but they mark it up. So get your gap insurance, because if you're buying a brand new car and you drive it off the lot, you get the depreciation value. So the insurance will only pay this much, but you owe this much. So it fills the gap if it gets totaled out. Hopefully it doesn't. It probably won't. But get that gap insurance. It's cheap, and the down payment can help you not be upside down on that loan too.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you drive it off and all of a sudden you didn't really put enough down on it, and now it's really worth here, but you're paying here, you're kind of upside down a little bit. You're making payments on something that isn't the same value it once was. So you put a little down payment on it, comes back down here, so you drive it off, and boom, 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 you're good. But you want to look into what that is specifically for your vehicle, your needs, and your financing.
But it's like, be careful, because I've had 2 accidents where I wasn't even in the car and my car was totaled. So I wasn't in the car, it was parked, and somebody smashed into it twice. Not once, but twice. And totally just like, so.
Yeah, it set us back. That was another thing that really set us back. Yeah, that really did set us back. 2 cars, both parked, fine. They were smashed in, totaled. And of course the other, one time it was a hit and run. So that really set us back. It was a hit and run.
I didn't get any payment.
Yeah, and then the other time it was an old Geo Metro, so I didn't get much out of it. But
you know, an old car, if you have it tuned up and everything and working, it's worth way more than what the insurance will give you, especially to you who needs it so bad.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So she's gonna go with the full coverage, full meal deal coverage. And that's another thing. We have great coverage with USAA because I was in the military. So I can call them up, run a quote. You can call up Esurance, you can call up whomever. Ask them to run a quote. They should not pull your credit. And you can even ask, they're not gonna pull my credit, right? They're not going to, but you can ask. They can run you a nice little quote about ballpark, how much it's gonna cost for full coverage for the vehicle. We found that it was pretty affordable, right? And
yeah, for a new car.
For a brand new car. And it's because she's a good driver, right? And if you have issues with citations and violations, they're on LexisNexis, and you can dispute those with 609 credit repair letters at 609creditrepair.com, or we can do it for you, and you can knock that stuff off, and you can get a better insurance rate for your new car. That's something else you want to do.
Definitely want to know what the insurance rate is, because just because you can afford the car payment does not mean you can afford the car payment plus the insurance. You know what I mean? Like, people always, like, you get caught up, you're like, oh, this car only cost me like $200 and some a month, and then you add the insurance, you're like, oh, now it's like $350. You're like,
yeah.
oof, ugh, that's really tight.
Right.
So you just know what you're gonna be paying before you spend all the money. It's such a big purchase. Don't be scared to call people and ask a billion questions, or just have your friend call and ask a billion questions, so that way you can sit there and be like, okay, ask them this, so you can think about it while you're hearing this stuff, because it's a little bit different. Like, I have a hard time on the phone. I feel very pressured and I get a lot of anxiety, so I have a really hard time on the phone. But when he's asking questions, I'm very clear. I can hear the stuff, and I'm like, oh, what about this? What about this? It's a lot easier for me. Friends help, or family member, whatever you got. And another thing you want to also know about in your state is your DMV fees, because you're gonna buy this car and you're like, if you buy it at the max of what your loan is or everything you have and all the money, you forget about the DMV fees, because ours are like 10.9%. Mm-hmm. So that can add an extra $2,000 on a $20,000 car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
think about that. That's a way to negotiate that
money.
Price down, because you're like, oh, I gotta pay these fees too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Ask when you're at the dealership, like, what kind of maintenance does this need?
Mm-hmm.
That's something, because like, that was something I completely didn't even think about.
Yeah. And what's cool is, you can look all this stuff up online nowadays, right? So they can't really pull the wool over your eyes. But if you're buying a brand new car or a close to new, pre-certified, pre-owned vehicle, maintenance is gonna be low. It should be pretty low. Yeah. If you're looking stuff up and you're like, man, it's got a lot of maintenance and this and that.
Or if it has a lot of stuff that just seems to go wrong on that vehicle.
With it.
Like, just Google it, know before you buy that vehicle.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think
the Dodge Challenger,
pretty solid so far. And maybe you have some comments on the Challenger you can put down below, or any of your horror stories or great stories about purchasing a vehicle. We'd love to know. You can put it down below. And of course, Jera's got her own channel. You can check a look. We'll probably do this. Check a look over my channel. It'll be in the description box. We will want to do another part of this.
It's nothing like this channel.
It's different. It's different. It's more of a lifestyle channel, but here is all about educating you and getting you the good information. And I'll probably do another video, because this is getting long as is, so maybe we want to break it up into some.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna make one video. Now I'm like, whoa.
We should probably break this up. So this is gonna be part 1. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications so you get part 2. All right, 609creditrepair.com, or